Sashin Moodley came in today for a chat, and it was an experience. We touched on topics that span the complete range of human emotions. Sashin provides valuable insight into his successful journey to a life of health and well-being, South African life in Korea as a member of the LGBTQ community, and proper ways to transition out of Korea. Lots of things to unpack after this one. This one rocks till the last minute of recording. Side note, I found while editing there were an above average number of curse words, so I tried to cut most of them out, but brace yourselves. No, it's not that bad, but sorry if you're offended. I hope you all enjoy. Throw that grammar book in the garbage. Most people don't care that you improperly conjugated the verb to stink, or care that you ate lobster and salmon for dinner last night. Generally, English speakers are looking for quality conversation and unique insights into foreign cultures. Stop wasting your time conjugating verbs and get some real English conversation experience with native English conversation teachers. This can be accomplished through Dr. English. It is an all-in-one online English learning platform. The qualified native speakers can help you start or continue your journey to English fluency today. Enjoy learning from the comfort of your own home. Call 010-4591-1496 for a free sample class, or visit their website at www.drenglish.com. Open your doors to endless opportunities. Dr. English.
You are now tuned into This Korean Life with your hosts, Brian and Nate.
Welcome to another episode of This Korean Life, number 52. Sashin Moodley.
Hi guys.
Good?
Yeah.
Moodley? I don't know, it's Moodley. Moodley. Very nice to meet you. Dude, do you see the picture I got here?
I know, that's
Can
a
you,
very nice picture, yeah.
I loved it, man. It's right in the backyard. I think everyone's made some good memories here. Yeah. Can you give us a little background or shed some light on this picture, I guess?
Okay, so this is Kara and Lara, my two best friends here, sisters. And we wanted to go bike riding, but we didn't want to exercise, so we rented car bikes. I rode for about an hour. I burnt like 8 calories.
Yeah. But those are the cacao bikes are dual. You can pedal and fucking.
When you pedal, it just goes faster. The electric part kicks in more. Like the pedal is just essentially the accelerating thing.
Oh no shit.
Yeah. Yeah, and then it was just a Sunday. It was very out of the blue. We just decided, let's go out, let's ride bikes. Felt a little bit child-free, nice, yeah. And then we ended up at Munso Stadium, we took some pics, and then we got barbecue, and yeah.
Dude, I saw you learning how to ride one of those e-scooters, or practicing.
Oh my god,
in the middle of the night, you were probably bombed, and you and the other dude who were there, and the girls, I mean, I thought somebody almost got hit by a car at one point. I was like, maybe you guys should practice on the side of the road and not in the middle of the road.
The thing to put your legs is so small over there. Have you seen how big my feet are?
The Lime scooters?
Yeah, the Lime scooters. Yeah, I have very big feet. It's hard. Now, I'm sharing with another person. Fair enough, he's short and smaller than me. But it's... and then he's swerving and going forward, left and right. I got.
Is that a Daryunjan? Or?
Huh?
Was that a Daryunjan? Like the guy you pay to drive your shit?
No, that was Kara's boyfriend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so... But, yeah.
Ah, interesting.
But that was fun. That was a good night.
The guy I work out with, his son, he went down from here, Bulgogi Danji. It's about 10 minutes from here.
Yeah.
But his son came back to visit him, and I think his son's maybe mid-20s, and his son wanted to meet his friend over in Bulgogi Danji because it has good bulgogi and it's like a chunan cheaper per serving. So they got drunk and they're driving the scooters home. The son fell down, smashed his front teeth out, cut all his face. So he saved like $5 on bulgogi, but he's got to pay $1 million in dental.
Yeah, you got a story to tell now.
Well, listen, I was just a couple quick ones on the freedom kind of stuff here, and when I see those, I think now of the helmet laws that have come in. You have to wear a helmet in the Apaka ones put helmets on the scooters, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's...
The orange ones?
Yeah, I mean, that
Yeah,
would have
the
been a
orange
major
ones.
lice concern when I was a kid. I don't know what they are now, but... Anyways, I was talking to Dad last week, and he's telling me how in Canada there's just more and more and more laws and rules. And I said, that's how Jeffy always calls it the communist Canada. There's a rule for everything now. And I said, that's kind of what I like living in Korea. There's not many rules. It doesn't seem like there's many rules. It's not the Wild West like when I got
Korea's
here.
reactive.
But we were sitting out on the patio in Oakdong the other day, Kai and I having a beer, and this young kid, and it was probably around 11:30, 12, and this kid was on one of these e-scooters, or what is it called, e-scooter?
I don't know.
Whatever they're called, electric scooter. He was riding one of those, and a police pulled up. Woo! And I was like, no, keep going, dude. What are you... Don't... And he stopped, and I was like, what are you doing? The cops aren't going to chase you with their car. Keep going. And he stopped, and he was like, sorry. And we were like, just go. What are you doing? I thought, just run then. Say you weren't even on the scooter. Just run. And then I thought...
Drive it in the
but they will probably take the scooter, and you got to get your ID or something,
Oh,
right? Is
shit,
that-
Yeah, you need
So they can
to
probably
be a
take the
licensed,
scooter.
driver as well.
They can probably take the scooter and say, who was this guy?
Yeah.
Oh, Sashin Moodley. Okay, fine. But why would he have stopped? Just keep going.
Yeah, they
So
can't-
hold on. He pulled it. They stopped this guy right in front of the army base around there. The guy stopped, and the cops got out and talked to him. I don't know if he got a ticket or not, but he left the scooter there, and he walked. He started walking the rest. But while they had him, a chicken delivery guy did about 2 figure eights in the middle of the intersection on red lights, and the cops
gives
didn't
a
even
shit.
bat an eye. No helmet on the delivery guy, driving like a lunatic, and the cops didn't do a thing. But they got this middle school guy on the e-scooter. Anyways.
No hope for Donnie Doncaster trying to deliver his meal at midnight.
And you know those guys would never stop for anything.
No.
Okay, let's get into this. South Africa. What the hell's going on, man?
Hey, this week's been rough. So for me it was bad because my hometown got hit very badly.
Your hometown of Durban?
In Durban, there's a town they call Tongaat.
Yeah.
I woke up Monday morning, and this had all happened it started Sunday night. And they're 7 hours ahead, so it started after I went to sleep. So I woke up and I see all these videos on my WhatsApp, and I'm thinking to myself, these places look so full. This can't be like
My
our main
hometown,
street
yeah.
and stuff like that. And then I realized everything is burnt
Wild.
to the ground, looted. They've stolen a whole lot of stuff. So what happened was the reason what they're saying is our ex-president Jacob Zuma, he was sentenced to 15 months prison. So
Which is nothing.
which is nothing considering what he's done.
Yeah.
It's a sabbatical,
Yeah.
if you
Exactly.
could call it that. Yeah. So when he went into custody, they started looting. They said that's the reason why, but as the days went by, it seems like it's a much more sinister and much more deeper than that. It was this whole thing was orchestrated between him and another political party, the EFF. Look, I don't know how this is just what's being
Going
passed
on,
around
yeah.
at the moment. I don't know
Was-
how accurate or how true all of it is.
Was this a long time coming, or was this and this was just kind of the tipping point, or
It's funny you say that because even though I was surprised after it happened, yes, I do think it was coming for a while. South Africa was heading towards some sort of climax
Yeah.
with all the corruption and the economic disparity and stuff like that. It was always heading towards some kind of huge catastrophe.
like if something happens in America, it didn't just happen yesterday. It's a result of
Like the
months
Black
or
Lives
years.
Matter, yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm kind of getting to. It just there's a tipping point.
Yeah.
And it happened to be George Floyd, but there's a point. It's been building up. It can only last for so long. So I was just wondering, I guess South Africa's not in the news that much, or the global news. Everyone thinks of it as a tourist place. The last 2 or 3 South Africans we had on definitely probably didn't paint it as the safest tourist place, but still a beautiful country. But yeah, I just wondered if this is stuff that's been kind of going on and building up for a while. Or...
We had seen some flashes of it maybe through your Facebook or whatnot, but what really hit it home probably for us was on the expat dad site. One dad was saying he in his neighborhood, him and his neighbors have blockaded the road into their it sounds almost like a crescent, and they take turns
Yeah.
guarding with their own weapons. We're like, dude, where's
Yeah.
the police?
My dad and my brother are doing that.
That's
dude, that's so
That's
crazy.
what's going on. Like they have stations throughout the all of the entry points of the neighborhood, and from the beginning of the night till the early hours of the morning, they have to take shifts.
Oh, that's so
Like
crazy.
I'll show you pictures when we're done, like with everybody meeting and stuff like that. My brother was telling me, my oldest brother, he's in Johannesburg, not in the same city. Luckily, my middle brother is at home at the moment when all, just thank God for that. But he was telling me, he was talking to my dad, and my dad said, you know what, I took my gun out from the safe, I cocked it. If anybody enters the house, I'll fire one warning shot, and then I'm shooting on sight.
Yeah.
And my brother was like, you know, for my dad to be retired and to have to say something like that, it's so like messed up.
Yeah.
I mean, is it not enough that he's already lived through apartheid?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because people look at like they see my pictures and stuff that I put up and stuff, and it looks from the outside like it was a very easy life for like my parents, and like, but they worked very hard for what they had.
Facebook can do that, make everything look prettier than.
My father was 25 when he got married. My mother was 21.
Yeah.
And they lived with his parents first initially, but he bought a plot of land, and my brothers were conceived very early on, a year apart from each other. And my father went to college at night after work, and this is 45 kilometers away from where we live.
Jeez,
he got his degree, and my mother was also working. She was walking to work.
A young hustle, man.
And they worked hard over many years for everything that they had.
Yeah.
And you know,
Nothing
to
was handed
see
down.
this happen after that, like,
Yeah.
So, Zuma's been out of power for a few years.
yeah.
Since
What-
2018.
Yeah.
Who are the perpetrators in this situation? Does he still have a huge following, or who are these guys that decided they're gonna take it to the streets?
So there's a lot. Zuma has a very, very big following. It's like kind of like brainwashing and stuff like that. He has some kind of hold over all of the Zulu people in South Africa. Most of them are Zulu people, and I think what it is they are all in desperate need of something, and he's able to take advantage of that and promise them that, you know, he'll be able to give them these things. These are also not educated people. A lot of them are, I mean, if you look at that behavior, it's not coming from an educated place. you know?
Reactive.
And these are people that are essentially, you know, they're born of the aftermath of apartheid. Their entire situation is because of apartheid. Like, I don't know if you guys know about the Segregation Act. It's where they basically said, okay, you guys have to, this race has to live here, this race has to live here.
Okay,
we have
yeah,
to.
yeah.
So because of that now, I mean, just because apartheid is over, what are you now going to suddenly disperse them into? No, it doesn't work like that. They're
Right.
still living in those places.
Yeah.
They still have huge risk factors that they have to deal with on a day-to-day basis.
Absolutely.
So was the looting right? No, but there is a certain, you can understand how they were able, you know, how they got there. Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, if talk about, you know, if education's a factor playing into it, even with education, if you look at East and West Germany, I think those pretty well educated place. Even after the Berlin Wall came down, there's still a lot of mending to be done before the people fully integrate again. But now
This now has led to major food shortages,
Yeah.
towns and cities, main centers being burned down. What do you think? Where are we going with it? What direction is it going to take?
So right now, like, it's everybody's getting a lot of Zimbabwe vibes. You know? Then it's scary. It is scary because, you know, like, there's a lot. This is not the first thing that's happened.
Yeah.
That, you know, there's a lot of other things, similarities that happened there. And you must know there are a lot of Zimbabweans in our country, and they've said even, like, you know, it started with the load shedding, like the power getting cut and stuff like that. Like those that's how we knew, you know. But where it's going, look, the one thing I'll say is, through all of this, the entire country has come together in a way that like, I get goosebumps thinking about it, but they all went out together, people from different races, different classes, with brooms, sweeping, cleaning, trying to get the community back together. Is it going to be difficult? Yes, but I mean, if we have that kind of unity, I think that there is still a lot of hope for us. We still have a very good chance, and also it's a rich resource country as well. Infrastructure is there. it just needs to be managed properly. Policy needs to be implemented properly. We have the best constitution in the world, but the implementation of it is poor.
How do you feel being here during this politically charged, overall scary time? Is there like, if your family's in danger, do you feel like a sense of relief that you're, I'm safe, or is there kind of a sense of guilt, like I should be at home?
And can I just add on to that one, not just from this, but the Corona situation also, because it's also very serious, right?
Yeah.
Compared to here.
Yeah. Look, it's always a little bit bittersweet. It's funny that you say that, because like I always tell people who ask me, like, you miss out on a lot of stuff. It's harder missing out on the bad stuff. It's harder not being here. I mean, being away when there's bad stuff happening, especially when people are dying and stuff. Like, there's a sense of closure you'll never get. But with Corona, I won't lie, I felt relieved that I was here and not there. It's different. It's different because, like, we never really had like lockdowns the way they did. Like, we never had those kinds of restrictions.
Right.
But with this stuff here, like with the looting and the, I don't know, when it's not actual danger, but more severe danger, you want to be there.
Yeah.
You want to be there with your loved ones and stuff like that.
You
feel helpless.
You mentioned that your dad, now retired, and now he's got to take his gun out of the safe. After Gareth's stories, I would have thought everyone's gun was beside their bed and not in a safe. That house robberies and attacks and stuff are quite frequent, and that wouldn't be such a unique situation where he'd have to take his gun out of a safe. Can you speak a little bit to how you felt growing up, the safety, the danger, that part of it?
My family has been victim to a fair amount of crimes, a lot of crime. Like, we've been burgled. Our home has been burgled about 3 times. My brother was hijacked. His hijacking was bad. They held him like execution point even, and it was bad, very bad. My father was hijacked. I was robbed 3 times just walking from my grandmother's house to my house. Remember, I grew up in a small Indian town that was just built to house Indians. It's not a great place, and very close to that are very rural. Well, actually, within that town, there's rural settlements, there's middle class settlements, and like that's what it's like, So you get used to it. If anything, coming to Korea was a novelty for me, because I wasn't used to that. Like, this whole thing of being able to walk at night with your phone in your hand was, and your headphones in your ears, even like that was something that took the longest for me to get used to. Like, I really enjoyed that the most when I came here. That was the biggest thing for me.
Always looking over your shoulder. In the early days, you're like, oh wait.
When I go back home, it's a problem for me. Like, my brother's always like, you can't leave your phone over there. I'm like, oh, I forgot. Like, it's like I'm like, adjusting will be difficult when I go back home.
It's funny to think about like the stereotypical, like the hard guys back home, like the strong guys. Like, dude, we grew up in such a soft town. Like, you might, if you go to the bar at night looking for a fight, you might find one. But like, walking home, dude, no one's gonna rob you or like hold you at gunpoint or steal your car.
You're not from Winnipeg, but
yeah. Oh yeah, I'll speak exclusively to my hometown. There's no the hard guys are like, I don't know. We don't deal with shit like that.
We didn't think about it lots when we were young, but now looking back, we probably put ourselves in a lot of stupid positions where we would have been. So there's a lot of gangs downtown.
From what Gareth was saying and Connette, that it almost seems your situation with your dad, your brothers, and yourself, you might actually seem pretty fortunate that it was only a burglary and stealing your wallet and jacking the cars.
Yeah, that's always like what my parents and stuff would say. At least they didn't harm us. At least they didn't do anything to us. That was always the main thing. We're fine.
Wild.
But it's too much stuff to like make permanent changes to you, dude. Like, the way you think about the community, and
you just get used to it. Like, it really just becomes, you become so desensitized to it. It's just something that you learn to live with.
But and then maybe there's a detachment from things, from your things. Like, you I don't know, maybe we value our shit too much. Like, if someone came in and stole your TV, you'd be like, fuck my TV, fuck. And then people at home would talk about it for years. Maybe in South Africa, they take it and like, it's only...
It's a feeling. It's not like that. You actually do feel really hot sore. You must remember, these people are stealing from you and you are working hard to get these things.
Yeah.
Like, for my parents as well. Like, I think that the one of the first burglaries we had, they broke in and they took everything in minutes and they destroyed as well. Like, one, it was a feeling of violation of just having a stranger go through all of your things, but the other I know for my mother especially, like, she just felt really hot. So these were things that she worked hard over years to get. Like,
it's like disappointing, man.
Yeah, my parents have nice things, but they save. They save over a period of time and then they'll buy. They're very good with money. Because
smart people.
Yeah, they like say, like, I still don't know how they did it. Like, with my parents' salaries, how they raised 3 kids and like put us through school and everything like that.
I wonder the same thing.
I don't know how they did it. I don't know.
They stole the neighbor's shit.
My parents have 5 kids, and you'd wake up on Christmas morning and maybe it's just because when you're young it looks bigger, but there was so much stuff in around that tree, and I think, how could they hide it? Like, we were 5 crazy kids, and we would search the house high and low everywhere. And we would sleep by our doors with the door open after we'd go to bed, even at like 12 years old. I don't mean like 5 or 6, like 10 or 12 years old. And you couldn't convince me that there wasn't a Santa, because how the hell did all this shit get in my house every Christmas? Yeah. And if they were moving all this stuff in like a moving truck, you would hear it. And we would all be by our doors, cracked open, and we're going to catch Santa this time. And I don't know how the hell they ever did it, man. Wow. And 5 kids searching every cubby and under in the neighbors' houses. We go everywhere. Could never find presents. But on Christmas morning, it was full. Amazon. And same with the salaries and stuff. I don't know how the hell they ever did it.
Yeah, that's wild. But even too, man, when someone comes in your house, I've thought, my apartment's on the first floor. And sometimes I wonder about leaving the door open at night. I'm like, shit, man, what if some idiot just decided to like climb in through my window? Or Marky, Eric, but we had a couple buddies who people.
Have you heard Marky's story?
No.
Oh fuck! Someone, dude, he passed out one day and someone jumped in, like took his wallet out of his pocket, stole his money and left while he was sleeping.
Him and Lisa, Mark and Jeff.
Oh, okay. Marky, I didn't. When you said Marky, I didn't. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Him and his wife were sleeping, and the guy took the money out of their bedside table. And maybe a couple pairs of Lisa's underwear. But they woke up, and their shit was gone, and they slept right through it, and the guy was right beside them. Oh man!
But that's worrisome, man. To know that someone,
because why wouldn't it happen again?
Wants to just go inside your house.
I don't know why, but we played that one baseball tournament. I don't know where the bat came from, but there's a Louisville Slugger and a couple hockey sticks by the front door there. I don't know I don't imagine I'd ever have to use them, but they're there just for being there.
I got my extension rod, but I wonder what's the law in South Africa if someone breaks in your house? Are you allowed to shoot them like Texas style, or?
You have to fire a warning shot first, and then
bang bang.
Yeah.
Bang, bang. This is an Africa thing, right? The warning shots.
Yeah.
Fuck. I think I've told it on here before. Maybe when 2 guys are scuffling or whatever. I was in a tiny town in Ghana, and guys start fighting or whatever, and the police are like, "Gentlemen, boys, don't fuck around." And he just goes, "Bah, bah, bah." And then nobody even flinches. I'm like, holy shit, what the hell's going on? Even if I don't see him, I would run out and go, who the hell's shooting people? And he's like, "Madingo, relax. Warning shots. Warning shots." I'm like, what the hell you need warning shots for? Just talk to the guy. Warning shots. But yeah, I heard warning shots regularly.
Because we've had, or you heard...
Can you imagine the States warning shots?
Yeah, no, it'd be one in the sea, one in
the guys. Warning shots coming.
Yeah. Wait, you in Uganda? What were you
doing?
Ghana. In Ghana, what were you doing in Ghana?
I was working with an organization called Right to Play. I was in a refugee camp.
Really?
On the Ivorian border, yeah.
Okay.
I was there for a year, and then I went backpacking all over West Africa.
Hey, you must have seen some stuff.
Yeah, we've talked about this at the bar a few times, but
you know what?
I think you were a couple drinks under the wheel.
Everybody knows. This is why I don't remember anyone's name. When you see me out, which is now much more rare than it used to be, I just go have a good time, and I'm sorry about that.
Oh, no problem.
I've had to
we had some
apologize.
great chats about it. West Africa.
I'm so sorry.
Anyways, yeah, I heard.
Did he tell you the diamond stories?
Stop it.
I heard warning shots all over West Africa, and I still never got used to it. You know, walking up to any random place with the guys with and I'm like, you couldn't hit an elephant if it was right in front of you. They've never shot them before. Most of the guys, they got these guns. They've never shot them, and it's intimidating. Like, if you had to shoot somebody, could you? Do you think you could hit a running target? I don't think most of them could
Yeah,
hit
if
the
you
guy.
pull the trigger and fucking 30 bullets come out, you're gonna hit someone.
But the guy, like, you know, no cruiser, no anything, just like street patrol police guys in the town or whatever, and if they didn't want to argue or fight with anyone, they just fire warning shots like, "Hey, you're too noisy." But so casual.
What's the silver lining for the current situation? Just
I think the
people
unity.
are coming.
The unity, yeah.
Yeah, the
and
people are
also,
coming,
you know, it's something has to happen now as well. I mean, like politically as well,
I was gonna
with
say,
governance and stuff.
Where
as
does it
well.
leave the Zulu people? I mean, they're not any better off. Why
Yeah.
wouldn't it happen again or more?
The people upstairs need to answer now, and they need to put things into place to make sure something like this never happens again. I mean, there's severe systemic problems in our country, and they need to be dealt with. They can't be reactive with it anymore. They need to have a proper solution. And again, it comes down to implementation, strong foundation.
Yeah.
We don't have that. Like, apartheid was over, and I think there were a lot of policies in mind that they came into play it was good thinking behind it, but again, the implementation was so poor. There's severe issues right now. It's lack of skilled workers. There's not enough jobs. So all of that. They need to figure out some. And I know. Like, everybody says this. Like, in theory, it's like, yeah, you need to sort this out. You need to sort that. But how?
Sometimes it's time, man.
I think
it takes.
it's not just that though. There's a problem with corruption in our country.
Yeah.
The money keeps going missing. I mean, there was like 550 billion rand set aside for COVID. Nobody can account for it. No one can account for it. Where's it gone?
That
You know?
that sends a message to the people that, you know, if the big wigs are stealing money, why not me? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they're helping themselves, why not?
And then every time this happens, there's like the middle class to upper, like,
Yeah.
whatever, our tax just goes up more and more and more, and then again they get this money, and then what do they do with it? They pocket it. There's so much of money that should have been invested into the country and the country's infrastructure that has just been it's corruption. It's like this decay that just.
But it's everywhere. I'm not saying to that extent, but it's everywhere. The Canadian guys, I mean, these guys going to the Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos and stuff, and going on these business meetings and all in the middle of Corona. There's all this stuff is going on all over the place. Not to that extent, probably, but how do you feel when you living here and seeing how the system works here? I mean, we shit on Korea sometimes, and there's some stuff that bothers us here, but there's just as much or more that bothers people at home. And, you know, it's not always the grass is always greener, but one thing that really, not awoke me, but made me aware was the Park Geun-hye situation. Like, we've seen scandalous presidents all the way through. I mean, Roh Moo-hyun's dead. Lee Myung-bak's in jail. Park Geun-hye's in jail. Like, Korea doesn't have a great track record of honest presidents. But I think for the most part, they've been held accountable.
Yes.
And for me in Canada and I think in the States, like, you just do whatever that, like, look at Trump. I mean, and it goes forever and ever. In Canada, it's no different. But there's accountability here.
And
Two
you
of these
see it.
guys are in jail. The other guy would have been if he didn't commit suicide. How does it feel? What does it feel like looking at the system here and how it works? And that if you do this, you're going to jail. There's not riots. There's not all the.
But
they're in jail.
That's what they've done in South Africa. They've imprisoned the corrupt ex-president.
For the first time.
Yeah.
Right.
So they're on the right track, no?
Yeah.
Right. But I'm saying the reaction here. You had 1 million people sitting in at Kwang Mun Square every weekend for 8 months, demanding that she get put in jail. She got impeached. She got put in jail.
And I think
And some of the old
Shit,
people,
right.
including my mother-in-law, were devastated, and they can't believe this can be true. And didn't her sentence just get upheld recently?
yeah.
So,
But I think, dude, you're comparing the pinnacle, the top of
That's, I'm not
The-
trying to
the best
compare. I
thing
just
of-
mean, how
the
does
best
it
thing of
feel to
protest.
see it? Like, for me, I was like, holy shit. Why can't Canada do this to corrupt politicians?
The Habs, the
I
Habs
was,
lose the series. They
no,
burn
but-
police cars and shit.
But that's I'm not trying to compare anything. I'm
Yeah.
just, wow. Why the hell can't we do this in Canada?
Yeah.
You got caught red-handed. Go and
No.
sit down, do the protest, and put the guys in jail.
There was no cop car burning, no windows smashed. There was millions of people just playing having live concerts and shit.
Is
Can
that
you imagine?
Is that like a wet dream or what?
Now, you know what? For me, I was very surprised that it happened so fast. It was like, because I came in October, I arrived here October 10th. And in the next, I think it was within that 3 months that all of this happened. I know, like, Trump was elected. I can remember this very
That's a
clearly.
while.
Trump was elected. This was happening to this lady over here. I remember like I remember the protests and stuff like that. But I remember I was so surprised by the turnaround time of everything. Everything happened so quickly. But I tell you why it can't happen in South Africa.
What?
Because everybody is so scared that we could end up in a situation like apartheid again. There's all of these things in place that, yes, it does slow down everything, but it protects the country from going back to where it was before. That's why. It's a separation of powers and all of this other stuff. Every act has to be passed, and it needs to go through these people and that people, and they need to ensure that there's no biasness, there's no corruption. That's why it takes so long.
We gotta get Elon Musk to resurrect Mandela.
Yeah.
Huh? It's the only way. It's the only way out of this. Oh, dude. But it's hard, man. Maybe you guys need a young leader to lead.
That's the main problem right now. We don't have a good candidate. Like, I always think about that episode of South Park where Stan was banished from South Park because he didn't vote because his choice for the school mascot, because his choice was a douchebag and an ass.
Yeah.
He had to, and I really understand that now
Yeah.
more than ever. I can identify with that.
Dude, they.
Isn't that globally though? Like everywhere we are
Yeah.
facing choices.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
chatting
Pile
with
of
Dad and we
shit,
said.
one pile of shit too.
Are the only two candidates in all of America Trump and Clinton? There's nobody else.
Yeah.
But,
But who
unfortunately,
wants-
it's not that way. It doesn't run that way, right? I mean, it's
Does anyone want that kind of power?
yeah. I think lots of people do. Lots of people do.
What a pain in the ass.
But
Anything you decide, half of the country's gonna hate you.
Oh,
can you imagine that Trump
Half
wants
the
to go
country's
back
like-
in?
He wants to go back in.
Can you imagine that he would do 4 more years? Like, didn't he get enough beating in those 4 years? He really wants 4, but it's just a stubbornness, right? Like, I just can't
Dude,
believe
it's got him to
Like,
where
you're
he's at.
70 something. Shouldn't you be golfing and chilling and relaxing?
I think he
Why
likes
do you
to be
wanna do
relevant.
that?
He likes it. He enjoys it. He
Sure he
thrives
does.
on it.
Sure
Like,
he does.
all of it.
I just think when I'm retired, like, I want to golf and ride my bike and listen to tunes and lay on the beach, but
He does.
this guy wants to go in a war zone every day, listen to those reporters just pushing his
That
buttons
keeps him young.
Twitter.
Jeez. Is he still banned from Twitter?
I don't know. Wasn't it a lifetime ban?
Facebook, I think, just banned him for life. Yeah.
That's we won't get into that, but that's weird that they can do that, man.
Okay, fitness buff, healthy as an ox. What fashionista? Tell us a little bit about.
Can you
The hair is always kept nice and tight.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I got here, when
A
I
couple new
arrived
shades coming in the beard, but
with salt and pepper, I actually
Yeah.
like this.
that's
really
where does
like
that fit in on the?
This is from teaching.
No, I mean the fashion and style part of it. Is that in now, the salt and pepper, or what?
Yeah, I think for me, like being a gay man, like regardless of what age I'm at or how gray or black my hair is, there'll always be a category of gay men that'll be attracted to me. I'm just lucky that way. There's, there's,
Because of the salt and pepper.
for every age group of mine, there's gonna be a category on Pornhub that
Salt and pepper.
Yeah, there is actually. I'm sure there is. There must be. Actually, no. This is a otter, right now. That's what you would call me. I'm an otter.
An otter?
Otter.
Yeah. If it was bigger, you could say bear, but no, I'm an otter. I'm a little bit lean. I got the hairiness and stuff. It's an otter. Yeah.
Well, actually, it's funny you say Pornhub. That one of the first times I think I was introduced to you, I walked out of Sticky Fingers' bathroom, and this guy's like, "No, you don't need a VPN." And he showed
That was X Hamster, and he told me,
you should.
no. And I was like, dude, I don't know what you're using, but You got that Korean guy living outside your window there that can't go there. I'm like, dude, what are you doing outside my window, man? The internet police. Whenever they put those restrictions in, I remember like, guys, what the hell's going on? I got the Korean police sign up on my screen now. Are they sitting outside my house or what?
You know, I figured out what that's for. Well, why do they do that? Do you know?
I don't know.
It's what I didn't understand it either. But it's probably just one extra step to prevent kids from being able to access it so easily.
Oh, come
All
on.
my kids use a VPN. I took one of my kids' phones and he thought it was locked.
Yeah.
And then I just went onto photos and he had a screenshot of his browser and I saw the VPN was on already.
Yeah.
And there were only two sites, just two websites that were frequently most visited. It was RedTube and Pornhub. So then I went to his browser and it was the same thing. So it was a screenshot of his actual browser. So I said, Dan, what's this? And he goes really red. He gets up.
Your face is red too, bro.
He walks to the door and he just sits down like this, like,
Teacher, I jerk off.
yeah.
Well,
that's funny.
do you remember the articles that used to come out saying that these Save the World pastors were sitting up all night, like 24 hours a day, banning porn sites in Korea
Searching
to save,
for porn sites,
to
yeah.
save the world? And you're like, hold on. These are all volunteer men from the church that are staying up all night to
Honey,
ban.
go back to bed. I'm saving the world again.
Oh, come
They
on.
did this in India once. They banned porn sites for 1 day. And then they released the whole list publicly. Here are all the porn sites we have banned. And next day they just lifted the ban. And now everyone has all the sites they want to go.
Uh-huh.
What was the
One
point
way
of
to do
that?
it.
They tried something and then there was a big flash, I guess.
Yeah.
But then there was a...
I just
bigger
can't
document
believe
listing all
Korea
the porn
tried to
sites.
sell to the public that the pastors were saving Korea by banning sites at 3 a.m.
But man, I think, it probably is.
I can't believe that though.
A VPN's a good way around it, but I think it is a good thing to have in place so kids even don't happen across some
By
weird
accident.
shit that pops up on there.
Like remember Hotmail?
Yeah.
If you spelt that wrong,
Oh, jeez, they're learning. What's that? Not a homonym. What is that called?
synonym? No.
Homophone.
Homophone.
Same-
No, I don't know. Actually.
Same word, different spelling.
But there's
imagine
nobody, none of those kids are old enough to have Hotmail, so that's good.
Yeah.
that.
There's no excuse now.
Hotmail.com.
Gmail. Gmail could.
Tell us a little about your
Well, let's start with Jupiter Thunder. What is that?
Okay, so I was a big Sailor Moon fan back in the day, and you guys know Sailor Moon.
She is the one.
Yeah.
Moon.
So Sailor
Sailor
Jupiter,
Moon.
the power was Jupiter Thunder.
Oh, okay.
No, Sailor Moon wasn't a thing in South Africa. I just like stumbled upon it. Like I went through like an anime phase, and I just really like the words to Jupiter Thunder, and initially it was my gaming alias that I used to use, and I just I stuck with it. Like maybe 20 years old.
Yeah.
This
I think there was a
alias.
South African. I want to say it's South African that was here, that was totally into Sailor Moon and had full Sailor Moon tattoos. A guy that was
Murray.
here. What is it?
The teacher, Murray, right?
No. This is before. This is years ago. I remember Al introduced.
I would get a Sailor Moon tattoo. Actually, I would.
I think this guy had like
Yeah.
full, like
That's
almost
cool.
like full back done in
Yeah.
Sailor Moon.
Huh.
What other, what other anime movies are you into?
You know,
Do you like the
recent-
Japanese?
I do.
Yeah.
I used to actually.
Yeah.
I can't do it anymore. It's just it's sometimes it's a little bit too cute. Sometimes a bit too repetitive. But recently, the American anime stuff that's coming, like the Castlevania, Dota,
Yeah.
Blood of Zeus, those were all really good.
Yeah. I'm still in the Ghibli phase. Ghibli?
I can't even do that anymore. Like the classics are good, but like all of these new ones and stuff, it's too. Like if you look at the stories now in comparison to like Spirited Away or
Yeah,
Princess
yeah.
Mononoke, it's not as good. It's so cute.
No,
you know what I
okay,
mean?
okay.
It's great for kids,
Mm. I enjoyed that. I mean, those. I think those are the only ones I've seen.
Yeah.
Princess Mononoke, the
but how
Spirited Away, Howl's
Yeah.
Moving Castle. But it's such a different. You're almost like transported to a different world, and if you just kind of give up reality for a minute, you can go
That's
on.
why
a,
that's
you
why
go
I've
on a
never gotten
journey.
into it.
Nate stops at the Pornhub anime.
Hard to get me out of reality.
Yeah, except when you're.
No, but there are documentaries about their making process.
Mm.
And once you see that team generating this Ghibli
Yeah.
movies, then you have a new appreciation for those animations and how they make the sounds.
Yeah.
That guy works really hard.
My Neighbor Totoro is deadly.
Yeah.
I've watched it probably 10 times, man. It's a really, I like I don't know, the setup for the movie, everything, the Spirited Away too. I really enjoy the characters, the dialogue, everything. It's good stuff. But I gotta check out the new American shit. Sounds good.
Hey, it's really good. It's really, really. It's like I like it. It's short. It's 20 minutes, 8 episodes.
Did you ever get into? I got some students who are big into. Fuck, what is it? It's like a pirate.
One Piece.
One Piece.
No, I can't. So those long ones, the Naruto. I used to do Naruto and Bleach, but it's a soap opera.
Yeah.
That's what it
It-
is. I
but
mean,
they're
what,
like-
it's
they're 1,000 episodes, yeah.
yeah. Days of Our Lives is can compete with them. I mean,
Yeah.
it's, hey,
You know Days of Our Lives?
Yeah, Days of Our Lives, Full and Beautiful. That was our dinner. That's what my mother
Really?
used to watch. So when
Yeah,
my
that's
mother
what
was
my mom used to
cooking,
watch.
was Days of Our Lives, and then when we were eating supper,
These are the days.
it was
of our
Bold and
lives.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Wow.
But they're 1,000 episodes deep, and I thought about getting into them,
Don't.
but
do it.
no, it's not. Is it a waste of time?
You need to ask yourself like how many years you have left to
Yeah,
live,
yeah.
and how many of those years you want to sacrifice for One Piece.
But isn't there? At points in your life, don't you look back? I mean, there's a part of my life that has like that was dedicated to The Simpsons, or maybe there's even small pieces where you remember a time in your life that's really associated with a movie.
Yes.
With
Dazed and Confused.
yeah, that was fucking high school and uni. Lost. You remember the TV show Lost?
Yeah.
When I hear about that, or when I see it, or if I see something pop up, I remember those long summer days of like 2011, hanging out in my one room. Like, I have good memories associated with that,
Right.
Because I watched it, and I was wondering if I can kind of carve out a new section of life, or have, for One Piece or something where I could be.
But if you
transported
do
back.
One Piece, that will be the remainder of your life.
Yeah.
You won't
I
be able
gotta-
to separate anything you experience from the time you start
From
One
that.
Piece to anything else. It'll be every day. The
It's
good
1,000,
and the bad. Yeah.
1,000 deep. Fuck. I downloaded Animaniacs. You know that?
Hey,
Yeah.
I watched it when I was a kid, and I didn't get any of it. And my friend Jared came to Ulsan for my birthday, and he put on the new series. And
There's a new Animaniacs?
yeah, it's I couldn't believe how funny it was.
Oh, dude. And there's so
like-
many good references, and you're like, oh, shit, I never would have got that as a kid.
It's
Don't know why
it's
in
not
there.
for I didn't realize it's actually not it's not for kids. It's so smart.
Yeah.
It's on Hulu if you
The subscription, yeah.
yeah, it's yeah, I really liked it.
But do you realize, like, I don't watch movies in general, but having kids now, I have seen a few kids movies. But do you realize how many kids movies are kind of like adult movies? Like, there's so much of that hidden stuff in there. Like,
Oh, they just, it's a lot of, like, just life themed, using kids' animation shit. One of the.
but I mean, the kids can never get
Yeah.
this stuff, and I'm like, hold on, that joke was for me. It's not
Yeah.
for my
Yeah.
girls. What the hell, dude?
You're old when the
And
tunes, the tunes on the movies, you're like, I fucking love that tune. Kids have no idea what it is.
I remember that Scrooge or something, and I was like, "What the hell? Half this movie's made for me." But I thought
A good example
I
is
thought it's
the-
for my kids.
Have you seen the Bee movie?
the what?
The Bee movie?
The one with the bees.
Don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I did see
Jerry
that.
Seinfeld.
Yeah.
He Seinfeld does the voice, but it's just about a bee who kind of doesn't fit the bee lifestyle, and he's like, "Oh, should I do this? Should I do that?" And it's kind of he's sorting out his life, but it's something that a 30-year-old could identify with, right?
Pixar does it really well, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shrek has a lot of adult humor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fuck,
Shrek's
I never-
a lot of adult humor.
Dude,
I like
I've
Shrek.
seen Shrek in bits and pieces, and the only thing honestly I remember is what is it, donkey? Because it sounds like asshole in Korean. And when I think it was Shrek 3, he blows his ears. His ears
Yeah.
are horns. He goes. And he-
The guy, the villain from Shrek 1, his name is Lord Farquaad.
Lord Fuckward.
Farquaad.
Fuckward.
That's not a coincidence.
Yeah.
I don't think it is.
Absolutely. There's no, they do those well. Back to the gym. What?
Oh, okay.
What's the inspiration? What's the goal? What's the routine?
So
Where did you start?
What's it like in Korea?
Okay, so I never worked out back home. I never did any sports or anything. When I came here, I just hit 30 and my metabolism started catching up with me and I was drinking heavily. So I got fat very quickly. I was single. I didn't like the way I looked. I didn't feel good about myself. So I was following this guy on Instagram and he did online training, a South African dude. And I said, you know what, I just need a little bit of guidance here and I should be able to do it. I have access. The gym's close to my house. So I did it 2 months, lost all the weight, and then ever since then it's just been trying to put on more muscle. But
Fill up a t-shirt.
Fill up a t-shirt. Yeah. But ultimately, I mean, I didn't do it for health reasons. It's aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's nice. You know,
But it does. I think it does play.
Well,
into
you're
mental
not
health.
retired yet, so. Yeah,
well, I'm
you
marketing
gotta
myself
keep-
as
you
well.
gotta
You know what I'm
keep-
saying?
you gotta keep
I was. Actually, you know, I got a lot more attention on social after I started working out, and that's actually how I met my boyfriend. It's been going really, really well. I've been single for 8 years, and I'm actually moving back home in October. We haven't met yet.
This is your boyfriend's back home?
That's awesome. I just like how you throw that in halfway
No,
through.
you know, honestly, I have like a bunch of random friends on Facebook. I think he added me. I know I did. No, he added me. Okay, and then we just, you know,
who's Sailor Jupiter? I think there's something going on here.
but he, we've been talking every day at the exact same time for 4 months now. It's you know, we passed the whole phase of like infatuation or whatever. We went through a bit of a lull, came out of it, and whatever we're feeling now for each other is pretty genuine. He's a good person as well, and look, I've been alone for a really long time, so I know what it sounds like when I say I met someone online. We haven't met yet, and we're going to meet.
Dude,
you know, but
it is what it is.
yeah.
Cool.
So,
I think our last 10 guests have met their significant other online.
are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not just.
And there's no, Marie, anyways.
Lot.
But isn't that the modern way to do it? Isn't that doesn't technology just facilitate what bars and whatever once did?
No, but by now though, we would have probably met. Like it's been. But you know, if anything, I actually think it's been better for us. We've been forced to take things really slow. So like we have to do this whole thing where all we do is really just talk. Twice a day, ever since we've met. And I think, you know, once we get through this, it'll help us like with longevity for the future. Like being able to make it through the 6 months of not seeing each other, not even meeting. It's a really strong obstacle to begin with, but also a really good foundation builder.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. Cool, man.
So you got to keep working out then, or no?
no, I'm gonna keep working out. I'm gonna keep.
What if
You're not looking for any extra attention.
you said he
online
was
anymore?
maybe he's into the seals. If you go home and you're a bear, then he never. Is that what you said? You're a seal?
You
Or
know
no,
what?
you're an otter.
We
I can't
we
remember.
passed the physical thing.
Oh, okay,
right.
okay.
It's deeper than that. Okay.
That's funny. Anyway, back to the.
To the gym.
I'm trying to. I'm interested. What when you first sign up with a trainer, you give him your goals.
Yeah.
He suggests diet plan, workout plan.
That's what he does. So like well most of them do, because now I'm with a different one, but there's an app called Trainerize, which has all of their workout videos on it, and they use it to make your workout plan.
Okay.
And then what's nice with the app as well is, like, it'll say you need to do 4 sets of this. You log it in as you're doing it. It has your rest times as well there as well. And then yes, they do give you a diet, and they update it every month and a half depending on your progress and your stats.
Very nice.
So you know, with that kind of guidance, you're able to see a lot of results very quickly, even if you aren't 100% disciplined. Because with my diet, I'm not as disciplined as I used to be, but I still hit most of my workouts. You know.
Yeah.
I make sure I get my 200 grams of protein a day as well.
For gym culture in Korea. Oh, you said you didn't work out at home, man.
Yeah, I didn't work, but I have an idea as to. I think with Korea, it's
If you can speak to the pet peeves or things that you like about the.
I can tell you all the things I hate.
Oh, dude, do tell me. Are you
so-
part of? Are you on the Facebook group Rage Squats in Korea?
No, I left that because those guys are also just as. There's times where it's funny, and there's times where they're just being dicks.
I feel the same with the meme. This guy's got me in this meme thing, and some of them are so spot on. You're like, oh, that's so deadly. But then you get the You get some people too that are just kind of nasty, and you're like, dude,
Yeah.
that's a dick move.
Like they'll see a guy, like a really scrawny guy, like trying to work out. They'll take a picture of him and they'll post it
Look
online.
at this fucking toothpick.
And they'll say something. Sometimes I just wish I could help people, but he said it in like a really like a shitty way,
Just snarky, yeah.
because I think his form and stuff was bad. But like that's so. At least he's there and he's trying. He's doing it.
That's
you know,
right. That's
because everybody had to start there.
absolutely.
So, but what I hate is I hate seeing people do lateral raises in a squat rack. That irritates me. I hate it when there's 5 people taking turns at a Smith machine. I like intimidating them as well because like I'm the big tall foreigner at the gym, so I go and I stand behind them like this. I wait like that.
Who are these guys you're talking? These
Anyone that's there, anyone that's in my way of my workout. When you go to a Korean gym, it's each man for himself. Politeness goes out the window. Like it's even a simple thing. Like someone will stand in a walkway and start doing an exercise.
Yeah.
And you're carrying like a big barbell, and you need to go past them, and they'll just fucking stand there.
Oi!
And I'll
Fucking move!
and I'll think to myself, do you want me to walk through you? What? How do you see this playing? Or they'll see, hey,
Dude, that's what it is. It is.
is there any of the Korean I'm older than you or how old are you, or does it go by bicep size, or who runs the show?
What time do
I
you
know
go?
Bri owns the gym where he goes, but
No, not. Look, I go at different times, but it's not really a thing like that. Everybody just goes and they do their own thing. I just, I try, and you'd think that they try to stay out of each other's. They do. In all, I'm being a bit of a dick here. They are very polite and stuff like that. But I get irritated before I have to ask them because we make this mistake of assuming there's a thing called common sense, but it's not common sense. It's a different culture. It's a different country.
Yeah.
And there are times where like there was a guy. He started with the bench press, and then I finished my cardio. And then I was doing chest that day. I finished all my exercises. 45 minutes later, he's still at the bench press machine, and he's there's only one bench press machine. So I said, listen, how long are you going to be here for? He's like, I got another 4 sets. I'm like, dude, you've been here from this time.
Yeah.
And the gym's going to close just now. He's like, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. Next time, please ask me if you need to use it or whatever. I'm really sorry about that.
There's a
he's
guy
doing the
too.
1 hour bench press.
Well, there's a guy too that comes super early in the morning sometimes, and he'll be on the squat rack for fucking 40 minutes. Like, dude,
Yeah.
people are waiting to use this.
Yeah.
Can you like give a look around and like that's that shit's that can get definitely annoying. But yeah, again, I think it's a new culture here. Maybe they don't know exactly. Or who's to know? Maybe we're fucking too rigid at home. Who
Well,
knows?
in my experience, though, every time I've asked,
Mm.
they've been very polite
Yeah.
and they've been much quicker on the machines, or they back off, or we alternate, or
Yeah.
whatever. So,
No doubt.
yeah.
No doubt. So what's the ultimate goal of your workout there? You want to just maintain your full
it's-
t-shirt?
I think it's the same for everybody. Lose the stomach, keep the muscle.
Yeah.
So right now the stomach it's back.
Yeah.
It's not so bad though. Like you know what happened to me. You guys know what Tim Tams are. Have you eaten Tim Tams?
No, but
before?
I see you guys post. So this is like Vegemite and
It's
these-
not like what's
No, no.
Vegemite?
I mean the other nationalities posting their special
okay.
food from home kind of thing. I don't think we ever do it, do we?
If I dangled a bag of ketchup chips, you'd fucking run.
But that's the
me
thing,
over
like, but we never get
somewhere.
that. But the Vegemite or the what's the other mite? Vegemite or
Nutella,
no? Australia and
Dino.
England have different Vegemite and Marmite.
Oh, Marmite.
Oh,
yeah,
Marmite.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Marmite and you guys have some of that, don't you?
Yeah, we have Marmite.
Vegemite and Marmite, and they're like, "Whoa, I got it! The gold is in!" And these Tim Tams are one of them, and there's a couple other ones, but
Tim Tams
I've heard about them a
actually-
lot.
Isn't that a cookie?
Yeah, but it's so tasty. So it's from Australia, and it's a sandwich cookie with chocolate on the inside, and it's coated with chocolate on the outside. But the way you eat it is you bite the end of the top off and the end at the bottom off, and you would sip like something warm, like hot coffee or something through it. And as soon as you taste the coffee in your mouth, you put the whole biscuit in your mouth, and it just explodes.
Oh, okay.
This is how everybody does it.
It's a very popular in Australia. It's called the Tim Tam Slam. That's what
A
you
Tim
would call
Tam
it.
slam?
You
Yeah.
can't just buy the bag and just start pounding them?
You can. So,
You're just
so
fucking wasted. You can get a bottle of Jameson and just start smashing it too.
This is what I do. Okay, so now what happened was I used to order it online, and then I told my friend Ben, and he's Australian. I told him about it. He's like, dude, no brand sells the same thing, but it's just in no brand packaging.
Yeah.
And they do, and it's 2,601, which is like 50% cheaper than what I've been paying for it. So I buy 5 boxes for a week, and
Jesus.
I tell myself,
How do you have
Friday?
problems hitting your calories then if you're eating?
this is a new thing. I said that's why this thing arrived here again. Like I didn't have this 2 months ago. This wasn't here.
Yeah.
So every night I would tell myself just 2 with a cup of tea and that's it. But then I sleep with the box on my nightstand,
Yeah.
and in the morning when I wake up, there's nothing there.
Somehow.
What happened?
I can't help it. I don't know. Like even if I leave it in the fridge, I still wake up and I go, and then I can't. I have no control when I'm in bed.
You got that's something. I mean, I have the same impulses with like I said. I can't walk through my kitchen without taking a handful of almonds or peanuts. Like it's impossible. I
Are
can't.
you
do
trying
it.
to make me feel bad about myself?
No. I'm saying about impulse kind of eating. Like it's hard to control.
You eat
If
too
you're-
much healthy food.
No. No, I mean,
Okay, I'll make you feel better. When we used to sit at the bars and they put the bowl of Cheerios out, he could eat the whole bowl of Cheerios without even noticing.
Okay.
Oh,
And then
yes.
and then you
Yeah.
could just slide another bowl in and give the waitress this one, and the next bowl would be gone by the time she got back. You're like, watch, he'll eat 6 bowls of those Ringo things, and he won't even notice.
Oh, dude.
So you should have opened with that one.
Well, yeah.
That would have made more sense.
But it was, just that your brain turns off, or even I think part of your brain recognizes like, wow, I'm eating a lot of these from Cheerios. You just keep pounding them it.
You know what the thing is though, like for years I never ate sugar. Like since I started I wasn't eating sugar.
Yeah.
This is the only thing that's sweet that I eat.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Yeah.
And that was actually the easy part for me. The hard part with my diet and fitness was drinking, going out and not drinking.
Yeah.
Because it's such a big part of the culture here.
Absolutely.
So
And a way to connect to new teachers and whatnot.
yeah.
That's important in the early years.
Tell us a little bit about the fashion and style stuff. I mean, the hair seems always right. The pictures always look like gold.
My hair like
Is this the thing? Like I think of gay friends at home, and I think, man, they're always well dressed. They're always looking good. Is
No.
that part of it, or how do you?
I'm not big on name brands. I wear clothes that I think looks nice on me. I don't like formal dressing or anything like that. I just like it takes you a long time to figure out how to dress and when you look best. And I don't know, my brother was a big influence with my hair. Like he would always tell me try this product or that product. He's actually much bigger into fashion and stuff than I am.
I was gonna say some of the pictures. He looks also pretty.
Yeah,
fashion-y.
he's very pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna hear this. He's gonna get upset with me for saying that.
One of them looks like a twin brother of you. Like one of them looks exactly like you.
So my middle brother and I, we look much more similar. Eugene, I don't know. Eugene and I share features, but you wouldn't say that we're brothers. You know?
Eugene, that almost sounds like a Korean name.
Huh? Well, actually, it's Eugendra, Jayendra, and Sashin. I don't know why
okay.
my parents did it like that. Like,
Okay,
yeah. But like I honestly, like I only bought clothes. Like for 2 years, I didn't buy clothes. Like I'm bad. I'm one of those expats. But also, like because of
not
Corona
easy
and
to
stuff
buy
like
clothes.
that, I don't like to buy clothes online, and I wasn't going downtown and stuff. And,
Online shopping's fucking.
then my underwear started getting holes in it and stuff, and I'm like, Sasha, you need to go and buy some clothes now.
No doubt.
So, like now it's all the white underwears are off white.
Oh, dude. But shopping definitely. Oh, I hate shopping on. Do you ever do shopping online?
I don't
It's
like
horrible,
it,
man.
Well, it's good when you're Korean and it's the one size fits all, and they're all the same size.
Yeah.
But
But how do you
But
know?
also the style
we got
doesn't
4 guys here, and we're
Yeah.
all different sizes.
Hey, it's hit and miss, so.
But the
I
Koreans are
hate
really
buying
good
a
at it.
T-shirt, and then some of them you get, you're like, oh, I think an important part of the T-shirt is the way the neck, like the quality of the what is it, the
It
neckline.
has to feel right. Like there's
And after one wash, I don't want to fucking hang it down.
No, but
between
here
my
you can see this is already starting to get wrinkly.
Yeah.
But these are China shirts, but they're very cheap and they make my body look big.
Yeah. The focus on the bicep.
Okay, let's switch directions here. Can you tell us a little bit about the LGBT community in Korea, or just in general in Korea? And maybe after we can get into Pride a little bit and
Okay.
talk about that.
You know, when I don't know if you guys remember Dorian Cliff. He was
Yeah,
the guy that organized.
100%.
Yeah, I know he was a really big part of it, and he would always organize, like, you know, a lot of the Pride events and stuff like that.
He's in France right now, right?
Yeah, he was really good at bringing all of that stuff and all of those people together, and he was connected to the networks and stuff like that. But after him, I feel like for the foreigners, like all of those meetups and stuff kind of left with him. But for me, with the LGBT community, like dating, is that what you refer, like dating?
Yeah, anything, everything.
It's look. I think for a person of color, it's a bit rough. For me, it was rough. At first, I thought maybe it was because I was fat, but then I lost the weight and stuff like that, and I never did well for myself here. I maybe like went about 3 or 4 dates, like in the 5 years that I've been here.
Yeah.
They were not great.
With Koreans or
with Koreans. Look, with the expats in Ulsan, we've always had like a very small amount of like gay expats, yeah, and I just never really was inclined to any of them in that way.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
But and it's hard to if it's a limited community too, like you said.
I think
there's
of the
not-
old Tombstone days. I mean, if something ever happened, the whole bar knew about it the next night,
Yeah.
and it would that
It's
was
still
just
like that.
that was just not a lot of people's thing. Like, if yeah, but there's a lot more expats here now than there was when I first came, and there was only 1 or 2 places to go. So I mean, that was like the news traveled there first, and everybody knew before you even got there. Everybody knew what was going on. So yeah, it was easier to stay out of that
Yeah.
kind of stuff and stay with the, you know, trying to date Koreans or whatever, because
It's shocking for me and not shocking that you've been on dates with Koreans, because man, when we came here, the big thing was like a lot of the Korean guys seemed very feminine compared to the guys at home, and I was like, wow, there's a lot of gay guys here, and everyone's like, no gays in Korea, like no, like there has to be, but it's cool now that it's opening up and it's more. I mean, they're not only dating within the Korean community, or they're going out to meet foreigners too. We're
Yeah.
making steps in the right direction, anyways.
well, I kind of joke and bug the Ghanaians, or that used to be at Eunice now, that have jobs and careers and stuff in Ulsan, but they used to go to Busan on the weekends because Korean women were just not interested in black men, and they knew if they went to Haeundae, Gwangan, Seomyeong, whatever, there was a whole different game there, and they could actually try and date or make girlfriends or whatever. And you know, once Eugene, their smarty, got his first girlfriend there, then it was like, wow. And when one of them got their first English job here, it was, oh, and it kind of paved the way. But I watched these guys from the first Ghanaian students at Eunice, and now it's like a freeway. I mean, any African student coming in can ride the coattails of those 6 or 8 guys who kind of laid the foundation. And it started by them exploring, going to Busan, going to Seoul, going to Daegu, where that was more acceptable.
Yeah.
And then finding out how to make inroads and how to bring that back to Ulsan. Is it the same for you or no? Like,
I don't think it's the same.
if that was only 4 dates in the time you've been here, wouldn't you go to a more open place? I mean, Itaewon, Seoul, Busan?
Look, I've been and I've tried and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Look, the truth is, guys, and you know, it is true. Gay people are very superficial, and we're very, very good at discriminating against our own kind on a variety of classes and categories. Like, you log on to Grindr, and like the profiles will be like, no fats, no femmes, only straight acting, muscular, like there literally will be
It's a fucking
prerequisites.
shopping list.
And if you don't, you know, yeah, it's like tick, tick, tick. No, so can't message. Stuff like that. And you know, there was a point in time in South Africa even where like people would message me, then like I'd respond to them, and I remember there was this one guy, such a fucker. He asked me for another picture. I sent it to him. He's like, "Oh, you're Indian?" I'm like, "Yeah." It says there on my profile. I have a picture, and it's my ethnicity is listed on my profile. He's like, "Okay, no, only whites. Sorry." That's a common thing, like whites only. You'll see that in South Africa.
Huh.
In Korea, it's very, very
You
similar.
could have a preference for whites, but whites only seems a little.
American.
There are clubs in Korea where they don't let Indians or other brown people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whites.
Hold on, though.
They
Oh,
stay
shit,
on
what was
door,
the-
though.
Loves that stuff in Itaewon. It's like
There's-
only Western, and heaven forbid you're an Indian Canadian because they won't believe you, and even if you have a passport, they're like, well, you're the wrong. color.
What was the reasoning for that? We heard a good reason why they only let.
I don't know if it was a good reason, but one of the owners had expressed
Korean.
through somebody why they do that. Whatever, it's the same bullshit. Oh, they don't understand the culture as much, or it's just bullshit. It's all bullshit.
It is
But
bullshit.
it's such. I feel it breeds so much hate though. Like when you make statements like that.
Oh yeah,
Creates
fuck, absolutely,
animosity.
If you formalize
Yeah.
those things, then yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
What? How do you? When you came to Korea, did you look at the men and think, "Wow, these guys are really attractive"?
I was very surprised because I did not expect to be attracted to any Korean people.
I had the same thought before coming here. I'd never really been attracted to an Asian girl, and you come here and you're like, "Whoa, there's more than one iteration of this kind of stereotypical face." You're like, "Holy shit! Look at there's a nice selection."
Isn't
of,
that everywhere though? Like,
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
You're not. Yeah, it is everywhere.
if you're surrounded by this kind of people, then
Because you can start.
that's
to
my
make,
choices. I
You
mean,
can start to distinguish differences in faces, and then yeah, absolutely.
It actually comes down to they're just people, and there's cool people in all the places and all the colors.
This
and
is why we
everything.
don't need tags and shit for everyone. Anyways,
Yeah.
continue.
No, I was
Sorry.
I was surprised by how big everybody was because I'm a pretty tall guy, and a lot of the people in Ulsan, the guys, I mean, they're very close to my height, and
Really?
the legs are like tree trunks.
Yeah.
I was like really surprised by that. Like I expected short and petite. That's what I thought I was gonna
That's
see when
Japan,
I came here.
right?
Oh, I thought listen, dude, I'm 5'8" and 3/4. I thought I was gonna be stepping on people over here before I came. I was like, "Yo, Godzilla, just wreaking havoc over here."
I've never felt Koreans were tall or
they're
big
huge.
in any way.
I got middle school students that are towering over.
Yeah.
What are they eating?
Now,
Is it the
I
fried
think it's
chicken?
a fried chicken.
now I think that they have progressed or gotten taller, but man, still, if you go on the subway in Busan, you can still see all the way to the end. There's a couple heads that poke up,
Yeah,
but in
fucking
general,
speak for yourself there.
well,
Yeah,
I just read an article on the 6'8" Korean basketball guy who's
Oh,
ripping
he's-
up the basketball world.
NCAA?
Yeah,
Yeah,
6'8" guy who was unreal. But I was surprised kind of how beautiful the guys were here, and I was like, "There's no toxic masculinity here. There's no masculinity."
Only in the gym.
The
Yeah.
You know, every guy in Ulsan put together, I don't think they could make one beard. There's no masculinity about them in the sense or the way that we know from the West, and nobody goes around with their chest pumped out. And now you're starting to see a couple of these gym guys, but in general, there's none of that shit here, and it is very metrosexual and very. The men seem very feminine compared to where I come from, where it's all the rah 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 and sports and thumping your chest.
I like that though. Like it made it very easy for me to feel comfortable here. Like I didn't fucking care. Like I don't know if you guys have seen me with my shorts out before, but like I can wear what
Yeah.
I want and I feel very comfortable. I feel nobody looks at me. They either look at me because I'm a foreigner or because I'm handsome. But otherwise,
Yeah, that's good, man. That's
What
good.
do you have any experiences with mothers or fathers or kids discussing gay people, gayness, gay anything?
it's come up once or twice with my middle school students, just purely because the textbook that we are discussing, like it had like a thing about same-sex marriage or whatever, and I just asked them their thoughts about it, and I'm like, so like, do you think this is okay? Like, do you think it's wrong? Like, no, it's good. It's okay. It's fine. Like, you know.
Good.
So, and you know, this is Guyangri, so it's still like, you know, like, I don't want to say country, but like,
It's
Pretty
not, it's
conservative.
not
yeah,
downtown
cause
Seoul.
that's yeah. So they were all like really okay about it. They seemed good about it, you know. But you know, with any school, with any place, it's so easy in theory to say yes, this is okay, it's fine.
Yeah.
And when it's happening, you know, people unconsciously just take the wrong stance without realizing.
I ask the women's class all the time, what do you think about your kids? It comes up just in regular conversation because of what's in the news, and we say the decreasing population, what's going to happen, what about your kids, what about their futures, Hagwan, study, but there's not going to be any jobs, and there's a decreasing population. What do you think about marrying a foreigner? They always say, oh, your wife's so lucky. And I'm like, okay, what about your kid marrying a foreigner?
Fuck that.
Yeah. No problem. And I say, what about an African American or an African Canadian?
Whites only.
Yeah, but so then it goes like to that. Then it goes to whites only. What about Southeast Asia? Oh, well, what if they're Filipino Canadian? How Filipino are they? What color is a Filipino Canadian? And I'm like, well, this is bullshit. You can't say you're open to it,
But that's the thing.
but
right?
you're only open to people like me.
And it comes down to the person, man. It comes down to the individual. You can't. It's you can.
But I'm saying
Paint
when
broad
you ask
strokes
that
around
question, all of them are, yeah, gays are fine. What if it's your brother? Oh, that's not okay. Well, what you just said it was okay. It's okay as long as they're not too connected to me or something. Or,
Yeah.
It's not gonna affect my image or people's thinking of me.
Again,
Yeah.
that might just be something that's developing over time. And I
Yeah.
mean, if a young kid in Guyongli is not reacting negatively
Yeah.
to the question, it's probably an indication that it's going in the right direction, right? As long as they're not hard conservative against it, it's probably going in the right direction.
How do you feel about the overall outlook in Korea? Is it progressing well? Is it going too slow? Is it?
In all fairness, I can't answer that question
No.
because I haven't been big on the gay scene here.
Yeah.
I really haven't. I wouldn't be able to give you a fair answer on that.
Well, Gareth shed some light when he was here on the LGBTQ. He said he went to the Pride March, and he's like it felt good within the 100 people that were supporting the cause, but we were surrounded by 1,000 people that hated it and were absolutely against it.
But this is Ulsan too. I wouldn't expect there not to be that. But
You know,
in general, in my time here, it has progressed immensely in the right direction, and I think social media and Instagram and stuff has changed the whole situation, the whole environment.
Don't
here.
you think too? I mean, when you're asking your ladies class, when you're asking your class, in 1-to-1 or in a small group, I think people are good, man. But the bigger the group gets,
sure.
The mob mentality comes out.
Yeah, and that's just in the group. I think it was Gareth said there's a lot of church groups supporting or kind of anti.
But I mean, that's the same at home.
Anti-pride thing.
You see that at home going on too.
Oh yeah, no, it's not just. I'm saying the individual versus the group. And on an individual level, people nice. Group.
No, you're right.
Shit gets out of hand.
People like riding in that wagon, They just it feels nice. It feels good. I don't know what it is, but
I bet it too a lot. If you randomly selected people that were looting and mobbing and shit back home, I bet a lot of them are just nice people who just got caught up in the fuck, I'll grab a free TV.
yeah,
You know?
and you know what it is? Oh, he's doing it, so it's okay.
Yeah.
He's doing it. He's getting it, so then it's okay.
But you saw it in the Montreal games. Those guys went down to support a hockey team. They won a game, and all of a sudden they're flipping over police cars. Like you just get caught up in the moment. It's
We forget about Vancouver. I don't know. I like to paint Canada in like this beautiful, oh, we're so nice, dude. Vancouver lost
the Stanley Cup to Boston,
and they just ruined the city. Vancouver.
Yeah.
This is like the.
But they say these guys come in to riot and loot and whatever. I got no idea what the percentage of people who come from other places with that intent and which ones don't. But there's one thing. Once it starts, it's easy to get everybody in there and
it's like a fire.
Yeah. You said going home in October.
Yeah, I'm gonna go home.
I've never heard that. That's pretty close. What
Yeah.
what was the main catalyst for deciding on making the move?
The
Look,
boyfriend.
No, but not just that. Look, I knew I was gonna go home at some point in time because I have to go home I have to do my practicals for my teaching certification at home, and I was on the fence about. I was actually thinking of coming back for another year or 6 months or something like that, and then it was the main deciding factor, I guess. It was the boyfriend.
Yeah.
But either way, I would have still ended up going home. It's not just that I haven't had a break since I've been here. I haven't had a proper break, and I think for the past 2 years I've been experiencing burnout.
Yeah.
So it's been tough studying. I mean, like, my couch is my favorite place right now. Like, I do the things that I have to do every day. I go to gym, I cook, I clean, I do my laundry and stuff like that. But then when I have like a moment of time, I just want to sit on my couch and do nothing. And I think it's burnout.
Yeah.
I just need a break. So when I go back home, even, I'm doing everything in such a way where I finish all my assignments before I leave.
Yeah.
And for 3 months, I'm going to do nothing.
Yeah. That's great,
Yeah.
man. I think at home it's even worse here, where if you're not working, you're wasting your time. I like to see the mentality like this, where you're taking time for yourself. The pursuit of money or other things can kind of take a back seat in lieu of your mental health.
And I think it's
That's
probably
awesome.
probably cool to see what happens in that time where you get time to reflect and think about life and just have time to think and not be worried or something about everything else going on. And you got to do this by 5 o'clock, and you just get time to sit down and think about life for a little bit.
My 6 months after I got married, there was 6 months where it was just very, very minimal work. I planned on not working at all, but I had a couple classes here and there, and I think I mentioned before, it was my biggest personal mental growth period. Taking a step back from working, like, oh, this is what the world looks like when you're not fucking class,
Buried in the sand.
Yeah, and it was it was good, man. It was good to step back, evaluate where you want to go, what your real beliefs and whatnot are. So,
What are some of the things you'll take away from Korea going back home?
Oh, there's so much. When I came, I'm not the same person I was. I did a lot of growth here. I was the worst before I came here. I really was. I was very immature. I hadn't adulted yet.
how old were you when you came?
I was 31.
31. You're 85?
30, 31, 87, sorry, 87, what is that? 30, 31, 32, 31?
How old are you? Fuck, how long?
Huh?
You came here in 2016.
Yeah, 2016, but my birthday's in March. 32, I was 32. You know what I mean, okay.
Figure out how old you are.
31, 32. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm 34 now. I'll be 35 next year. But, no, like just with the way I interact, I realized I was a very poor listener. I did a lot of reflection here about the way I used to be back home.
Yeah.
And the relationship with my family is better than it's ever been. The relationship with relationships with all of the people I have back home are really good. The relationships I've built here are phenomenal. I've become much more tolerant with people that I care about. I don't have an expectation of them to think like me or be like me, even if they're dicks. You can be friends with people that suck as long as they own that. I'm fine with it. But I don't know, just not as I don't care a lot about what other people think anymore. I know it sounds cheesy. It's very hard to get to that point though, where you do whatever you want because you want to do it and you don't care about. That's why I post so much of selfies on Instagram. I like it. It feels nice. I don't care what people are gonna say or whatever. But
that's a good way to go forward, man. When you're not when your brain power isn't dedicated to thinking about or worrying so much about what other people what other people are thinking or judging about you. You're free, man. That's there's freedom that comes from money, freedom that comes from a job, and there's freedom of your own conscience that when you can let shit go, that's the best one.
I have a new appreciation for time as well.
Yeah.
It's the one unit of measurement you cannot reproduce.
Yeah.
And that's the one you won't get back. And I after coming here,
18 minutes late.
you know what? There's a whole backstory with that. The directions were sent 24 hours late. I asked you for the direction. Asked Nate for the directions last night.
Dude, I'm only joking. I'm only joking.
That food that I brought is not for you. We're going to warm it up and you're going to eat it in front of you and you can smell it and you can watch us eat it, okay?
Oh, dude. Tell us, seriously though, what about the appreciation of time there? What have you learned from...
Life's short.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I think also working Hagwon, you have a new value for time because Jesus. Like there was one stage where I was working 2 Hagwon positions. I was doing kindergarten in the morning, and I was doing my main gig, which was elementary and middle school, in the afternoon towards the night.
Yeah.
And I was working out twice a day at the time. So I had very, very little. I was having 13-hour days.
Yeah.
And very, very
Your
little
house is
time.
just for sleeping.
Yeah, you just
You wake up,
sleeping and eating.
go to the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And hey, before you know it, like a year has gone by, and you don't know how you've been doing this.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's yeah, and I don't know if that comes with age, or for me, anyways. I think it was a combination of age and going through those shitty times where you're blinking and fucking months are flying by. You're like, whoa, oh my god, that was a year. Oh my god, holy shit, what's going on?
Yeah.
The wrinkles in your head, like they just when you go like this, they don't go away. You're like, what the fuck? This shit's getting things are. Yeah, when life starts flying by, man, it's scary. And to think back to when you were young and maybe you were at a job and you're like, oh, when can I go home? What, days you can just sleep away. You're like, oh shit, man, you're kind of counting down now.
It's hard to stay in the present as well when that happens.
Yeah.
It's really difficult. You keep on waiting for the time to be over, and before you know it, it is.
Yeah.
Like the time, and it's much more than you anticipated.
Yeah, and when you switch, I think from that like when's this gonna be over, kind of mindset, when your brain switches to like, maybe in your case where you're going home, you're like, I want to take everything in, I want to absorb all of these experiences. Time flies by even more.
Yeah.
When you've made that mental switch, man, which sucks, but what you gonna do?
Who just retired? Who's the goalie that just retired in the NHL? Not Pekka Rinne. Maybe it wasn't a goalie. And if somebody announced their retirement 2 months before the season ended because they wanted to take it all in, their last games, they wanted their family to come, they wanted to remember it. And then another legendary goalie 2 days ago just said, I retired. And I thought, man, I would definitely prefer how the other guy did it, where he announced it 2 months before the end of the season. American goalie. Winningest goalie of all time, I forget. Anyways, he wanted to take it all in. He wanted to have his family there. He wanted to enjoy. He wanted to say goodbye to guys in the other teams and stuff. So his last kind of 2 or 3 months was like a farewell tour.
Yeah.
And he
just didn't want guys
Ryan Miller.
Yeah.
And even he wasn't. He had a press conference and everything to announce it, and he just wanted to know that he could take it all in and really experience it and have no regrets from talking to other guys who've retired and said, listen, you don't get to do it twice. You got to do it how you want on your terms. So if you want to remember it you got to start before you're going to retire and
Yeah.
so you can have this special game, or the coach can put you in for that last start in your hometown or whatever.
It should be said though that we should be not just the last 2 months, man. We gotta practice and do our best to make every moment mindful. It sounds like he's kind of ran through his first 10 years of his career and like, I gotta remember this last 2 months. Fuck, I didn't do anything the first 10 years.
No, but I think it's that one like where you get to the off season, it's like, yeah, it's not in me anymore. I retire. But I'm not gonna see anybody or say.
But that's the thing. We gotta do our best, man, to live in the present and enjoy every moment.
Yeah, but I still think even if you do that towards the end of a long career or 4 years of teaching or whatever, there's still going to be those last final moments that'll be impressionable.
Yeah, no shit.
What are the feelings and emotions knowing that you're going home? What do you have? Lots of anxiety or stress, or you must be really excited? What do you think some of the challenges will be?
Touch wood, with everything that's happened, a lot of things have just fallen into place for me. Like even with my like 5 years like here, I do feel I have been living in the present. I've had a lot of good times, a lot of good experiences, not just outside of school, but in school as well with my kids, my students. Like I've enjoyed pretty much most of my days here. Going home, you would think the thing to be worried about is like, economically, my financial situation. What am I gonna do next? But even that as well, like. I managed to land a position that starts in January at a Saudi university where I'll be working online through correspondence. I'll be earning a little bit more than I'm earning now at the moment. So
you'll be working from South Africa for a Saudi university?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Beautiful.
So like and Hey,
Is
everything.
that because of Corona, or is that the actual position?
It's the actual position.
No
It's a
shit.
free university for the students in Saudi. It offers them
okay.
free English lessons or whatever like that, stuff like that. Very little preparation as well, so I'll be able to continue my studies while doing that. The
Yeah.
time difference is not so bad either.
Beautiful.
So everything's just
Jackpot.
kind of fallen into place for me. I'm going to be staying with my brother in Johannesburg for the first couple of months, and then I'll go out on my own. I don't think I'll drive. I don't want to drive. I used to drive before. I'm a very bad driver. I've been in 3 accidents. All of them were my fault. I shouldn't drive.
Part of the reflections in Korea brought you to this.
You know, it's you know, Ubering around. I mean, if I'm working from home, right? I'm only going to leave to go out to maybe buy groceries and to just see other people, which I don't go out as much as I used to. I don't know if this ever happened to you guys, where you find that as you get older, you become a little bit more introverted and a less extroverted.
Yes,
You know?
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, not by choice at all. I think getting married and having kids. But if you could bring me on the boys' weekend to Thailand, I'd be fully extroverted.
In terms of driving, living in Korea was the first time I ever thought, like, do I really need a car?
Yeah.
Like in my early days, I bought a car like 2 months in.
Yeah.
And I was like, do I really need this? This is, I could just walk here or walk there.
Yeah.
And you start doing the math of like, I got to pay $150 a month for insurance. I got to pay for gas, for repairs. Like, it is cheaper just to take the bus. It's a little more,
Yeah.
time consuming, but overall, all right.
So you're pretty set up going home.
Yeah, I'm gonna be okay. I'm fine. I've got some savings as well, so I just need that to float me for a couple of months, and I don't even think I'll burn through all of that. So
The plan is to do your practicum,
yeah,
and can you do that anywhere, or do you have to do it in a certain place? Or?
only in South Africa. At any school in South
Yes, sir.
Africa, there's 3 types of school, like disadvantaged school, medium resource school, and I think one of them has to be a special school for special kids with special needs.
Huh.
Yeah.
What are you studying now? You're doing your master's in education?
Postgraduate certificate in education, PGCE.
Okay.
So it's essentially like if you have a general bachelor's degree, you can do that, and then you have a teaching degree now. So, yeah.
Very nice. And you want to continue your studies even after you get your PCG? Do you want to keep studying after that?
At a point, I want to work for it, but I will study again. Like, I don't know if I told you guys this, but I was actually in corporate for about 5 years before.
No.
Yeah, I didn't come through straight after uni. I worked in corporate. I was a event manager for Ford Motor Company of Southern Africa, and also for ABB, Swiss Swedish Engineering Company. It wasn't for me, and I didn't expect. I came here to study, to save up for culinary school.
Yeah.
I didn't expect to enjoy teaching so much, but that's not why I didn't save up for culinary school. I didn't save up for culinary school because I was having a nice time.
Yeah. It's
Life happens.
Now I'm older, I can't do it anymore, but it's okay. I can still cook in my kitchen.
Don't you think too that cooking? I enjoy cooking too for people who are going to eat it or who we're going to share it with. But do you think it takes the joy out of cooking?
I think maybe it will.
When it's just like
100%.
make 18
Yeah.
steaks, you're like, God damn it! You're wishing that people would just get the hell out of your restaurant, unless it's yours.
Going into teaching, what level do you want to teach? Like primary years or secondary, or the younger, the older, and what kind of influence do you can have as an educator in South Africa? Because probably a very influential position.
Yes. The age doesn't bother me so much. I would prefer older students. I mean, if I could teach high school, I would have to further my qualifications to do that, though. If I could teach high school, I would love to teach high school. But for me, the fact that I'm going to be teaching English students, a lot of students will be English students or can speak, like a lot of English. I mean, that's
Huge.
That's-
What you understand when I'm talking like this?
Wait. You know what it feels like? Because you have to break down so much of things with English second language, right?
Yeah.
The only way I can describe it is, I'm not sure, but I think this is right though. Like, Superman on Krypton, the gravity is like minus 100 or something.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why he can fly when he's on Earth.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like it will be. I feel like I'm on Krypton now.
Can you explain that? Yeah, sure. I can break anything down you want. Yeah, absolutely. It's so for my first couple vacations back home. I remember purposely trying to talk fast and just see like, do people really understand when I talk really fast like this? Like, why are you talking so fast? Like, what are like you just try to trick people? It's so weird, man. You get in that bubble of teaching Hagwons and kids who just really it's hard to communicate.
When I go home, they're like, "Hey, I can understand English. Can you speed up a little bit?" Yeah. You don't have to talk like that. It's I'm embarrassed when I go home and I do that, but it's just a habit from here, trying to make sure you're well understood or speaking clearly.
You got to jump on the University of the People train.
What does it mean?
Gareth didn't have.
Oh, right. He told me about that. Yeah. I thought he was serious.
Yeah. It's dude, I'm on. I got 1 year, 1 year left. I remember when he told me about that. I was like, that's not real. That's not real. What is that?
I thought it was like something like how the people say he studied at the University of Life, School of Life, or something. I thought that's what he was saying. But then no, it's actually a university.
He told me, dude.
Yeah.
A year before I started, I was like, what is it?
It sounded like a pop-up ad.
It is, man. Yeah.
That's how we found it, I think. Yeah, wasn't it a pop-up ad?
Yeah, probably.
Like some kind of ad. I think so.
I wouldn't be surprised.
But it's accredited. That's what counts.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And when you look underneath any comment, I did some investigation before I signed up for it and started putting effort into it. But every Reddit or any message board, it's all like, these people got to change their name. These people got to change their name. I don't believe this. Is this real? It's quite funny, but good program. A long program, but it's good.
Tell us, you coming up on whatever it is, 4 or 5 years, the closing chapter, lots of friendships. You're a pretty sociable guy. I know you've made lots of good friends here.
Yeah.
What are some of the best memories you'll take away?
Oh, God. There's so many. That's that's such a vague question. Like, I don't...
Yeah, that should have been in the question list that he sent you 2 weeks ago.
but no, anything that stands out?
My every birthday that I've celebrated here has been massive.
Yeah.
Like, it's always I didn't have to go to Seoul to have that experience.
Yeah.
Like every birthday that I've had has been, it's been really, really good. I felt, like when you have. Honestly, there's such a shitty way to say it, but I felt like a fucking celebrity. On I really did, and I loved it. It was so nice. It was really
I said
nice.
vanilla cake.
Like I've had like these moments with all of these big groups, but even within that, these one-on-one moments with every single person that's in all of the groups that I've had. Like I like just these moments and these conversations and. Also, like, sometimes you just meet people and you would never say or you'd never think, and they're so different from you, but there's that one thing that's so similar, or that one story that they have that you can relate to, you've been through something similar. Like, I've had a lot of those as well. Cooking for people. I really enjoyed cooking for people. My cooking skills really came up in Korea. Because all the things I wanted to eat, I couldn't buy it, so I had to make it myself.
The biggest injustice that you can bring home is that you didn't win that cooking contest.
That's bullshit.
That
is such bullshit.
You want to call racism on something? It was that.
I was so irritated about that. I was thinking about that. I was cooking this curry for you guys yesterday.
You can't.
How I did that, but I'm happy I did. It was a good experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good experience.
And I remember after you're like, man, it was so hard to arrange all those tents, and there was so much shit that got thrown on our plates.
Jesus showed up with a big pot of curry. We're like, holy shit, where'd this come from?
Oh, it's like those just sometimes those moments in life, like where you're like, oh god, I'm so hungry, don't know what I'm gonna eat, and man, you just came in, you're like, I don't know, I got all this lamb curry. Do you guys want it? We're like, all right, bring it over here. And dude, we ate it with like fucking, I think with our hands in the back of a tent. It was so good.
That's how you're supposed to eat it. Yeah.
Fuck, it was so good. That was like one of the biggest highlights. The fact that we even finished it, that we got through the weekend without having a heart attack or a heat stroke or something, was amazing. But that curry, dude. When I think about that whole weekend, it was like, embarrassing to eat it like savages in the back of a dark tent, but so good and so appreciated. Yeah.
For me who cooked it, it's so satisfying to hear that.
Yeah.
I love that. I really, really do. I love that.
That really hit the spot, man. But still, I have like I don't know. It was embarrassing, dude. We're so hungry. Like, how are we gonna eat this thing? I think we're just poking it maybe even with one chopstick, just trying to force feed ourselves. It's so good though.
And I think we felt bad at one point and gave this tiny little dish to
Do you want to try your
one of the Korean ladies, and she was like, "Wow, is there any more?" We're like,
Yeah,
"Well,
sorry.
a pretty big pot, but it's gone."
You know what was a shame? I dished out all of those little bowls, and all of them got wasted.
Yeah, they just take
Oh.
one.
was-
They just
it
take
is-
one taste, right?
Yeah,
and
it's
that was
so
it.
hot so to see that. You know,
Yeah.
hey.
Yeah.
Who butter chicken one there, right?
I don't know.
Episode 5. I think.
Yeah, I don't know if it was him or not.
Who also goes by his computer, his gaming alias,
Yeah.
East Marshall. That's
East
what it was.
Marshall.
East Marshall.
Would you ever rule out coming back?
If I go,
He's gonna fly in for his birthday.
if I come back, it'll be for leisure. I wouldn't come back to work. Like if things don't work out the way I planned, the way everything, the way I hope it will, like in South Africa, I will leave South Africa again. But I probably go to the UAE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
It'll suck, but you know, at this point in my life, I want to pump up my pension, make sure I'm covered for retirement and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
And you know, with the way things are going in South Africa, if I'm earning in another currency, I may as well let it play to my advantage. And,
Right.
you know,
Absolutely.
because I mean, South Africa is cheaper than Vietnam. Like to put it into perspective
Really?
for you, yeah.
Oh, Gareth. One thing that he mentioned that we're asking if he ever wanted to move back or why, you know, in very trying times, why would you move back? And he was saying the spirit of,
Oh yeah.
and it's something I think maybe you can't really capture in words, but he said just the spirit or the feeling of being there is really, it's something special.
Yeah. I don't know how. I mean,
Hard to
as
describe.
soon as you get off the plane, you can feel it, you can smell it. I can't. I mean, even just like the end of the year, like the whole country shuts down for about three weeks, right? And everybody's happy. Everybody's buying. Everywhere you go, people are sitting at restaurants drinking. Everyone's in a good mood, and you kind of you smell braai everywhere, and you can feel it. Like everyone's with their families, and like even like with this horrible thing that happened to us, the people were all there. They all stood together. The neighbors, the community,
Yeah.
they all came together. They went like to where all the shit happened. A lot of them didn't know each other. With brooms, sweeping, cleaning. People are baking bread, donating. Everybody is trying to help everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a beautiful thing,
Absolutely. Yeah.
you know?
And sometimes that comes out of the ashes
Yeah.
of a really shitty
And
situation.
people you would assume everybody's always saying there's this huge racial divide. There's like this huge thing with these people hate those people. Where is it right now?
Yeah.
Where is it? Nobody can see that, right? Because that's not what you see if you turn on the news.
Yeah. You get something that a big problem can really bring. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean the silver lining is that it can bring everyone
Yeah.
to bring everyone together.
What would you say about the stuff on social media saying, "Here we go, South Africa is just a regular African country. It's not that special destination. It's not that safe to go. It's not that." They're just showing their
You know-
true colors. It's just a regular African country.
I think the rest of the world needs to take a step back and figure out what's going on in their own house before they come after us. Because if anything, especially with the global pandemic and the way most of the countries have handled it, it's very easy to stand on a high horse and look over at your neighbor's house and say, "Yeah, I don't like the way you're doing things" or whatever.
Yeah.
Sort your own fucking house out first.
Yeah.
The USA is a superpower country with third world problems.
They just had
Yeah.
all the riots and shit too. didn't
Yeah,
they?
so they must. That's fine. They can say whatever they want to say. I mean, if anything, a lot of it is ill-informed. There's a lot of people that still
Sure.
think that there's lions in my backyard
There isn't.
that we don't have. You know, really, they must just.
It's
They must. You know, if your house is clean and it's fine, say whatever the hell you want to
Yeah.
say. Either way, we don't care. We're gonna listen to it. We'll bitch, maybe we'll get upset about it. But we're still gonna carry on after that. You know?
Absolutely. Well,
Any advice for people coming in, whether it's South Africans or Hagwon teachers or just people in general?
Know why you are here. Have at least an understanding as to why you are coming here. It'll help you to get the things you want faster.
come with a
But you came a little bit older. Like I feel like most people who end up here in a teaching role
Oh yeah.
they're just escaping their problems back home, and they got in and they're like, holy shit, this is pretty good here. But I feel like most of them don't actually know why they're here. They've got an arts or science degree. They're not looking for teaching experience.
It's easier.
But you came at 30. You had to make a conscious choice to know,
Yeah.
what you want to do, why you're coming here. But
I don't think it's easy either to break. It seems like you had a corporate gig and just go, hey, I'm going to.
No, I lost my job.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
I can edit that part out.
You should know why you're coming, but I don't think that's easy for the young graduate who's.
No, when I say know why you're coming, I thought I knew why I was coming, and remember I said saving up for culinary school.
Yeah.
But I guess you're right. You are right.
But I think that's part of it. People come and then they find out who they are here.
Yeah.
And like you say, you can't get your mom's food, so you got to cook it.
Yeah.
You got to find out how to get it. You can't find people like you. You got to go out and find them. And I think that really brings people out of their shells, and they really figure out who they are living abroad. It's not easy. And I think that's part of the cool part is that people learn about themselves.
You guys probably have too, but I've had that conscious thought like, oh, this is who I am. Like, holy shit, I'm resorting back to the things how I was brought up, or this is.
And when you're not
this is what I really value.
surrounded by the people that you thought you had to be around, they were your friends or whatever, you're forced to just step out and free fall.
And that's one
you
of the
find out
best
where you
things.
land.
Yeah, that was the other thing I was going to say. Be open to meeting all sorts of people. I mean, the beauty of having an expat community like ours, I still stand by the fact that Ulsan has the best expat community in Korea. But the beauty of our expat community is it's not too big, but it's not too small. It's a kind of expat community where everybody knows who everybody is, but you don't necessarily know them. But because it's not so big, you don't get to pick and choose who you want to be friends with. You go to one of the bars and you just talk to whoever you see. And you hit it off really well with some people and you don't with others or whatever. But either way, you can make lifelong friends here.
Absolutely.
I have friends all over the world now. I mean, they've left a while ago and we still talk once a month, twice a month and stuff like that.
It's important.
So that was a really big thing. I've learned a lot from them. They've had a huge impact on my life. Just being around positive people for a really long time changes a lot. Just being around it. You don't have to do any active work or anything, but just being around those types of people.
That's the
I look at those
huge
groups,
impact.
or the main group that you had there for quite a while, and I think, wow, what an incredible network of cool humans to hang out with. Like, you got a really, really cool. I think ours was pretty limited because when we came, it was like mostly Canadians and Kiwis, maybe some Aussies, not many Americans, almost no South Africans, not many British. We were pretty limited in who was here, but now it's so diverse now. And there was no UNIST when I came. There was not really any international students. It's so diverse now. And man, when I look at the pictures of you and your groups of buddies, the birthday buddies.
Oh yeah.
Like, what a wild crew of amazing people, and I admire that. That's awesome.
Opinions and thoughts. I mean, the conversations there must be so.
That also was really organic with the way that happened. We just fell into it. Like, we didn't kind of go looking for each other or anything. Like, it really just was very, very spontaneous. The way we all kind of just started hanging out and just.
If I was a younger me and a single me, I would pay to join your group of buddies. But like
taking memberships,
right? like my group was like Mark, Jeff, and not there wasn't anything bad, but it was all white males.
Yeah.
I mean, and we had some Korean female kind of friends of the group and some other, but your group is so diverse and so I just love it. That would be a group that I would love to be a part of. But now with kids and stuff, and I don't go out, and it's not easy. So, yeah, I really envy that group of buddies you got here. They're pretty special.
Well, you can join the Skype membership, man. Hey, $10 a month, you're allowed to hang out on the.
We were not like that, man. You know, we weren't like. You know, we were pretty open to everybody. Yeah. I know we and you know if we came across as cliquey, we didn't seem to, but we would talk to other people, and it wasn't like
I didn't think so. But when I come to the bar, the first table I come to is your table because you're always having a good time and you're always with great people.
Yeah.
If I walk in and see you guys, you're always with, I know 3 or 4 of the people you're with, and I'm going to come straight over because I know that'll make me smile, laugh, and have a good time.
There's one story I want to tell. I should have mentioned it earlier though. Before.
We're out of time. I'm joking.
I don't have to tell you that. I can tell them. It's about my experience at a hospital in Korea, in Ulsan Hospital. I had to go for a hernia surgery.
Yeah.
And
Deadlifted?
I don't know. It was before I had a chain even. I don't know how I got it. But, but let's just say when I contracted my abs, there was things coming out of my groin. Like it was bad. I could play with it, push it in and out.
Well, you gotta. Well, that's it. My brother had one too. He said in the morning he'd wake up, or if he was laying down, there was no problem. As soon as he stood up, it went bloop, and he'd shove it in, put a belt around it, go to work. Dude, it's basically your.
Your abdominal wall. There's a tear in it, and your intestines come through.
Yeah, come through. Yeah.
And you can die from that. It can strangulate.
Yeah.
Well, what happened to Dr. June? Didn't he have
Perforation. He had a perforated intestine or something.
Oh, okay, yeah, something. Anyways, yeah, sorry.
So, I went for the surgery. It was fine. I woke up and it was New Year's Eve. It was the 31st of December. And a friend of mine had come to visit me and he waited me till around midnight. And I wanted to smoke. So he helped me to go outside with my drips and everything. And we passed this really old security guard on the way. And he came out and he smoked with us. And he followed us back to my room or whatever. And he asked me if he was really nice. He asked me if I needed anything or whatever, asked me if I knew where the bathrooms were, all of that stuff. I told him I'm fine, I'm okay. He left. My friend left. And I woke up about 2 hours later, and I was on morphine as well. I woke up about 2 hours later, and this guy's hands were all over my body. Like he had his hands under my gown, on my crotch.
The security guard?
The security guard, and he must have been like 75 or something like that. And I'm like, stop it. And I couldn't turn left. It was hard for me because it was my call. I couldn't turn left, right, and I'm stopping. I'm doing, like, my hands are like this. I'm trying to get him to stop. And luckily, there were two other guys in the ward. They woke up, and they just started swearing him in Hangul. I don't know what they said to him, and then he just ran away. I fell asleep. And
Holy
then
shit.
I woke up. They told me, you can leave. And then I left. And it was only, like, in the cab, like, I realized, like, it started coming. I realized what had happened to me. That's what happened to me when I had to stay in a Korean hospital.
No shit.
Yeah.
Dude, I thought that was gonna end like you woke up and looked over and he had bought you a pack of smokes for New Year's.
No, man.
Holy shit.
But I should have known. Even when he came, he's like, "Do you need help having a bath or stuff?" Like when my friend was there. I'm like, "No, I'm okay. I'm fine."
He was like the parking lot guy, or what? What hospital?
He was. It's Ulsan Hospital in Namgu. So he was sitting in the reception area when we were walking out, and then he just followed me back. And I didn't think anything of it. I mean, like,
you wouldn't, right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't.
Jesus Christ, that's fucking crazy.
It was fucking awful.
So did you do anything after that?
I mean, I didn't want to.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a foreigner here as well. I mean,
Jesus, and that's weird too. That it comes back to you in bits and pieces after.
I should have opened with that story.
You should have been. Yeah. Well, it's shitty that a lot of those things, especially for females, don't get reported. And
It's
whatnot.
messed up here.
Yeah.
That stuff that happens to them, it's really bad here, actually. Like, you guys probably know a lot of people. You probably know so many girls that they've had these weird ass random encounters.
Yeah, there's some definitely weird shit here.
Yeah.
And but not to excuse it, but it maybe being a male, not as threatened or traumatized by it as than
I don't
a female
feel
would.
like
It's easy. I mean, it didn't happen to me. It's easy to make a generalization, but as a female, it's like someone breaking into your house, man. You're like you're kind of always on the lookout after.
I was fine. I went home. I made a chicken curry.
Yeah.
I told the girls I was fine about everything.
Yeah. I remember. I don't know if I've said it on here before, but going in just for the regular health checkup that you got to get if you're working at a place. They test your ears and your eyes and shit, and they put the heart monitor thing on me. And after it was done, the girl leaned in, dude. We're in a closed room because you got to take off your shirt, and she was giggling and shit. And I was like, it's because tattoos and whatnot. And then after she took off the things and she came right in my neck, she goes, Joe and them say. I was like, dude, if a guy did that to a chick, if that was a male nurse to a girl, you'd be toast. You'd be toast. Good luck fucking keeping your job after that shit. I didn't. I was just like, whoa. Like, I'm like, yeah, where were you 5 years ago? It was that was a pretty wild.
That's like
encounter.
the start of a softcore porno.
Absolutely, it is. And let me tell you how it ended. No, but you would think, and I thought as well that, like, this is just something that maybe she's naive and she's like, she just did something stupid. But as I was leaving, like, maybe I had another test or had to sign out or do something after, but as I was leaving, she was like, "Bye-bye, cutie," and like waving and shit. I'm like, you're a nurse. You're a nurse. It's not some old country hospital. Like, this
Well,
is,
hold on.
This is going top.
There's a
big
different
hospital.
level of professionalism here, I think, in general, and I think in dealing with foreigners as a whole, because it's always like that stuff. You run into those kind of the QT and the very unprofessional stuff all the time in different service industries. They're like, you think you can't do that or you shouldn't do that.
I had to pay extra for this.
Because you're a foreigner. That's actually, it's like
The novelty.
I was watching something where I can't remember what it was, but this guy had seen Girls Gone Wild, and he went to the States, and he just assumed all the girls were like that. That's what it is. He watched like whatever.
I wiped out at hockey. I had a bruise from probably the top of my thigh to like midway up my back. Like the whole thing was bruised, and it was purple. Doctor didn't want to see it. Just pressed on. Okay, yeah, you're okay. There's nothing. There's listen. I gotta pull down my pants, dude. You gotta see. No. I'm like, well,
Look at my ass.
It only hurts in a certain spot. He's like, no. I'm like, you're a doctor, dude. I'm telling you, I got a problem and I'm concerned. You got to look at it. Oh, just let me check. Oh, I think everything's okay. No, I just said, fuck it. Boom, take down my pants. He's like, whoa. And I have a bruise like this big, man. And then the nurse was like, and the nurse goes running out to the receptionist. She's like, "Wait, go get on down, you move." And I was like, I don't care like about anything. I just want to get treatment or whatever. This guy sends me to physio, and I go to the physio place, and I think this was Samjung Byung one next to it, and it's divided into like cubicles, like maybe like 30 cubicles, and they just have like partitions. And she's like, "Okay, left ass cheek, TENS machines, whatever. Okay, pull it down." Doesn't put the machines on or anything, goes and rounds up the other 25 therapists in the place, brings them all over, and says, "Look at this guy's ass." It wasn't my, it was looking at the bruise like they'd never seen a bruise. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, is this standard procedure? And I never went back. I was like, I don't care if you know what you're doing or not. Like, this is ridiculous. There's
Jeffy,
50 other guys in here, and you bring the whole staff over?
Jeffy had the same one. He said after he had some surgery, he said he was laying there. It's like post surgery, and the doctor called the nurses in, and they were all playing with his chest there, and he's like, "Oh." And this is probably early 2000s. They're like, "Look at this," and they're all just rubbing his chest there. He's like, "What the fuck are you guys doing?"
That's cute though. That's adorable.
Oh yeah. Again though, man. Imagine changing the role of like a male nurse coming in, even like combing a girl's hair or something. Yeah.
Leg hair, anything.
Yeah.
My
But
female barber does that sometimes. I have like hair on my back, and she does the sharp cut here, and then she like keeps going.
How far down should I go? On the other end of the spectrum, when I went for the old endoscopy there at the university hospital, I mean, I don't know what they did while I was out, but 100% professional and respectful, and I mean, just first class care, and they were fantastic. I mean, in a situation where you feel a little bit vulnerable, and
They didn't want to look inside your butt.
yeah. No, but you know, like they were very respectful of the whole, and I was like, I don't gotta wait here for an hour, do I? And she was like, how do you feel? This, that, whatever, and I just felt very safe and in a professional environment. Where I've been to other hospitals where it's an absolute shit show, and I think like taxi drivers, do they think there's like an exception?
Everything's a shit show except your endoscopy. Is that what you're saying?
but the men in Korea, I think they perceive or they think that there's like an exception when you're dealing with foreigners. Like I remember when my sister came, and the taxi driver asks like how much she costs and what part of Russia she's from, and I'm like, do you want me to smash you through the window? She's my sister, buddy.
Oh my god!
But it was just like you would never ask that. Like, you never ask a Korean, or
No.
do they? Like, you never ask a Korean that. So many, and I remember guys asking, how big is your Johnson? Like, is it really like the movies or like it shows in America? I'm like, I'm Canadian. But just like really, really personal stuff. Like you don't ask Koreans that, and that's not.
Yeah.
So I think they think it's part curiosity, it's extreme ignorance, and it's part of just like, I don't know. They feel immune to they're not embarrassed or anything. Just freaking ask anything. Like, I don't know.
No, they think we're.
If
They
all
think
of us have had experiences like that, then it's definitely a culture thing.
it is a culture
Yeah.
thing. They,
I had physio experiences in the same hospital. Like she
Yeah.
just like I had my wrist broken and I was like in the same partition physio place, and she's like sniffing my armpit.
what? What? What?
Yeah, she's like wrapping something. It's some cold therapy thing. And she's like just leans over. I thought she's a special case and maybe
No,
like,
a lot of
just
sniffers.
a weird girl. Like,
A lot of-
yeah.
Olfactory.
It's a culture thing. Like, come on.
Well, that's dude, I don't know. Maybe you can trace that back to the ancient Mongols, man. That was their that was their way of greeting each other. They'd bring each other in. I swear to God, and they'd smell each other, dude. That was the olfactory senses was a way to recognize people back in the day. Now we get the deodorant and the cologne. We're fucking.
He talks about the annual work check. Well, I remember going to one, and they're never fun because.
Just put a finger in my butt.
I
Tell me
mean,
to go
he's a
home.
Muay Thai fighter, but he's got the tatties and everything. But I'm a big dude. I got a belly. But when you go in, and usually I would go to the Samjang, or not Samjang, Taewagang Dongganbyeongwon.
Yeah.
And they have like the special place. So all the Hyundai, all the SK guys, it's like a factory. And they just send you through eye check, ear check, weight, height, ECG, this, and you just go in a line. And like I remember stepping on, and this was like I don't care anymore. I've been through these things, and it's like back ship cheer kilo, and I'm like, you got to put that on a loudspeaker. Like the whole place freezes and goes, "Where's Andre the Giant?" And I'm like, do you have to announce the whole thing? Like, and that wasn't the worst part. Like, you go through and they're like, okay, the teeth are okay, and I'm like, but you don't do that for all these Korean guys. What the hell you got to announce mine for to the whole building? The girl, like 8 people behind me, I just finished the ECG, and there was a very, very heavy set African American teacher coming behind me, and then they're like, Beck, Sashib, Kilo,
oh my god.
chest
Shame.
size,
That's-
blah, blah, blah. And like, I was like, that's a devastating experience. Like, I can handle it, and I've been here 6 years, 7 years already, but this might be like our first time, and I was like, this is insane, man. What? And they tell your eyesight, and even if your eyesight's bad, or God, I was like, I felt so bad for that poor woman. Okay, like me, whatever, I can take it, but you're gonna dent that. Like, she already doesn't probably have the most self-esteem, and you're gonna just smash her when she's down, announcing her. And the whole place is men working for big corporations, and they all turn around and look, and it's either they see me or they see her. And that was it. And I was like, Jesus Christ.
Dude, I'm pretty sure I went for the scope one time. Not the full scope, just like just
You couldn't take it.
they just tickled the outside. But I went in, and I swear to God, I swear I really think this is a real memory in Mugadong. They showed in video to people waiting in the lobby.
No.
Yeah. I'm not fucking inventing this. I'm pretty sure I walked out. No, it's like a live, like for people waiting in the lobby. I think they just look up and see what's happening. Yeah.
Whose asshole we're checking out? What do you mean?
But the worst.
That's not a normal thing. What are you talking
That is
about?
not a normal thing.
It might, dude,
The lobby video
Don't you-
that's watching endoscopies?
dude, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Yeah.
or
I'm
colonoscopies, whatever.
Dude, I'm
Next
sure
time you
I
was
did.
who's ass?
It was whose ass is that? But the weird thing is, dude, this. Oh, never mind. I'll talk about it after.
No, come on, say it.
Oh, dude, the doctor. Here, it's not often you see a Korean guy with a beard. In this guy, it almost looks like. You ever seen people that get their head tattooed?
Yeah.
I mean, like that really fine.
Robbie.
And did he get? Oh, he did get those. Yeah. But this guy had.
They
It
look
looked like that, but
artificial.
almost looked like when you're young and for a Halloween costume, like burn
Yeah.
a cork and put it on. And this guy had like one of those beards. It didn't look like hair, and I thought, like, he's the asshole doctor. I'm like, is this just like shit that's flying in the air and it's sticking to his face, or is that a real beard? I don't know what it was. But anyways, yeah, that was my experience at the old asshole clinic. Oh,
This episode turned into a Me Too podcast.
with that?
Me too.
Yeah. After 2 hours, this is just our venting about getting violated in Korean hospital. Well, I think they'll make good clips.
The curry's waiting. Let's ride.
Let's roll. Oh, hold on. Listen, you just outplaced Dustin. Dustin came in with chocolate chip cookies. He's officially number 2. Number 1 best guest. You showed up with a full meal for us. Woo!
I hope
Sasha,
you guys
very
like
much.
it.
Dude, thanks
Oh,
for
you're
coming
welcome.
by. Later. Please don't forget to check out our sponsor, Dr. English. It is your one-stop shop for all of your English conversational needs. Enjoy learning from the comfort of your own home. Call 010-4591-1496 for a free sample class. Take your English to the next level by visiting their website, www.dr-english.com. Thank you for listening.